When Claire told me she only wanted to be intimate once a month, she said it as if it were perfectly reasonable, as if I was the one asking for too much. We'd been married 8 years, together for 10. I wasn't craving lust. I was desperate for connection. But that night, she leaned back in her chair, a glass of wine in hand, and said, "Once a month is fine, Ethan. We're adults now, not teenagers." Her words didn't just hurt, they settled inside me, cold and heavy. I nodded like I agreed, but something in me fractured. It wasn't about how often anymore. It was about how little she cared to even try. Over the next few weeks, I could feel the distance growing. She was constantly on her phone, laughing at messages I never saw. She started staying late at her new marketing job, always blaming deadlines. I'd cook dinner, set the table, and wait. She'd come home hours later with excuses ready to go. One Friday, I finally asked, "You still love me, right?" She hesitated for just a second, but in that brief silence, everything shifted. "Of course," she said finally. "You just take things too seriously. You need to relax." That night, I couldn't sleep. I replayed her tone, detached, almost dismissive. I wasn't being too intense. I was trying to hold on to a marriage she was slowly walking away from. 2 days later, she canceled our weekend trip because of work. I didn't argue. Instead, I called a lawyer friend, not to start anything, just to understand what divorce would even mean. Leaving seemed unthinkable, but staying felt unbearable. A week later, while she was showering, her phone buzzed on the counter. I wouldn't normally touch it, but the name on the screen caught my eye, Mark Jim. The preview read, "You're killing me." Last night was unreal. My heart didn't race. It just sank, slow, deliberate, heavy. I set the phone back down and walked out. That evening, I made dinner like always. Steak, her favorite. When she came home, hair damp from the gym, I greeted her with a calm smile. "We need to talk," I said. Her face tightened. "Ethan, can we not do this tonight?" "Oh, we're doing it tonight," I replied. "You said once a month was enough, right?" "Well, I'm thinking, maybe never again." She frowned. "What are you talking about?" "I'm talking about divorce." The fork slipped from her hand. "You're not serious." "I'm done being the only one trying, Claire." For the first time in months, emotion flickered in her eyes. "Hey, calm down. I just need..." "What? Time? Space? Another excuse." I cut her off. She hesitated, trembling slightly. "No, Ethan. You don't get it. I need this to end on my terms." That line stuck with me. I didn't know what she meant, but it chilled me. It wasn't a plea, it was a plan. That night, she slept in the guest room. I lay awake staring at the ceiling, her words looping in my mind, on my terms. The next morning, she acted as if nothing had happened. The smell of coffee filled the kitchen, soft music played, and she smiled like we hadn't argued at all. "I was thinking we should take a break," she said. "No need to rush into anything drastic. Let's just reset." Her calmness felt rehearsed. I could see it now, how she handled emotions like a PR campaign. Every apology, every deflection, perfectly crafted to make me question myself. That afternoon, my phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. "She's not who you think she is. Meet me tonight at 7. Cafe on Birch Street." I stared at it for a long moment, unsure if it was a joke, but something in my gut told me it wasn't. At 7 p.m., I drove through the rain to the cafe. Water streaked across the windshield like faint scratches. Inside, a woman in her late 30s sat alone at a corner table, nervously stirring a cold cup of coffee. When she saw me walk in, she gave a small wave. "Ethan," she said. She nodded slowly. "You sent the message." "Yes," she murmured. "I'm Mark's wife, or soon to be his ex." The name struck me hard, like a second heartbeat. Mark Jim. She pushed her phone toward me. On the screen were screenshots, conversations between Mark and Claire. Not just casual flirting, but full-blown confessions, plans, hotel bookings, inside jokes about me. "She told him you'd never leave," the woman said quietly. That you're too kind, too afraid to be alone. For a moment, I forgot how to breathe. The betrayal hurt, but what gutted me was how predictable Claire thought I was. I thanked the woman, drove home, and sat in the car for nearly an hour. The lights in the house were still on. She was probably inside pretending everything was normal, scrolling her phone like she hadn't just shattered our life. When I finally walked in, she was curled up on the couch with a blanket. "You're late," she said, as if nothing was wrong. "Yeah," I answered evenly. "Had a meeting." She didn't look up. "With who?" "Your boyfriend's wife." Her face went pale. The silence that followed was heavier than any scream. She opened her mouth to explain, but I lifted a hand. "Don't," I said quietly. "You had months to talk." Tears filled her eyes. "Ethan, please. It wasn't." "Wasn't what? Real? Intentional?" I cut her off. "You told him I'd never leave. Guess what, Claire? You were wrong." I turned toward the hallway, but she grabbed my arm. "Wait. Please. Just listen." I pulled free. "You don't want to be heard. You want control." For the first time, her calm cracked. "I made a mistake, okay? I didn't love him." "It was convenient," I said bitterly. Her voice trembled. "Safe. Fun. I was scared of losing you. Scared of not being wanted. I pushed you away because I couldn't face how empty I felt." That almost broke me, but not enough to stay. Love built on control isn't love. It's a cage. I went upstairs, packed a bag, and paused in the doorway. "Once a month, Claire," I said softly. "That's all the effort you gave me. Now you'll get what you gave, distance." She didn't follow me when I left. Weeks passed. The divorce papers were signed. Nights were quiet now. Not lonely, just still. Like the calm after a storm when you can finally hear your own thoughts again. Then one morning, an envelope arrived with no return address. Inside was a single handwritten note. "You were right. I needed control. I thought power would fill the emptiness, but it only made it worse. I'm sorry you had to suffer for my fear." No plea. No excuses. Just truth. I folded the note and set it aside. That evening, I went back to the same cafe where I'd met Mark's wife. Rain tapped the windows again, soft and familiar. I sat by the glass, ordered coffee, and realized something. I wasn't angry anymore. I was free. A woman at the next table smiled politely, typing quickly on her laptop. Life moved on. Pain dulled. Memories lost their edges. And in that quiet moment, I understood. Endings aren't always tragedies. Sometimes, they're disguised beginnings. I took a sip of coffee and whispered, "Once a month? No, once in a lifetime. That's what love should be."